Well, here we are. Episode 71. It's been a hot second since I lied and said I would do this weekly, which would have been about February, I would say. I think about February this year. Very nice. End of February, middle of April, not terrible. I can sadly almost assure you I have not done much since then. Which isn't awesome. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're going to make a rough, this is going to be really rough, and I do mean rough, a rough outline of the pattern we made off of the shoe. And we're going to see how much we can fix it, straighten it out, make it look slightly better, slightly more even. But rough is kind of what's going to happen here. So we'll see, but it's, I didn't like how I made this pattern. I don't like a lot about what we're going to try to do here today. But we're going to see how well it works. What's this side? That's going to be the right side. Right side. So we'll take the left side now. Gosh. Goodness gracious. This is terrible. That's a little bit better if we do that. Yeah, the way I fix this is I'm really just drawing to fill it in to make it look slightly more aesthetic, just to the eye, honestly. I don't know what all we're getting accomplished here in tracing this out necessarily, but what we're trying to do, for those watching back and for those in it, is we're going to take this shoe, but the shoe cannot look like a black Nike brand shoe. It's got to look like a night shoe thing. Yeah, so that's what we're going for. Cover it in foam, add details, call it a day. Should be easy. Should be easy. These right now is the two front pieces that we're going to try to mess with here. Oh boy. Make that decision. Like that. Not totally following the pattern here. Left. Right. That's going to be the front. The front's going to connect together. It doesn't have to connect. It just needs to be a base. It doesn't have to look good. This part doesn't need to look good. It just has to be a base. That's all it has to be. That's it. Yes. This is the back part, which I'm not in love with. Not its biggest fan. Gosh, can I just sort of cheat and line this up? I'm going to line this up at the edge. So what I'm going to do when I make this pattern is, because I want one side just to be completely straight, I'm going to line it as much up at the edge as I can. Keep it stuck in this spot right here. just like that. Just like that. Man, oh man. Let's say this should look like this. Let's say this should look like this. I do not like that. I do not care for that at all. But doesn't matter too much. I actually think I'm not going to actually cut it where there are these lines here. What I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to pull it over it and stretch it. Do it like that. Now, why on earth would that be like that? That does not make any sense at all. This is sort of how it lined up on the shoe originally. Who knows why it is the way that it is. Still just gonna flatten it out and draw it out. But not quite the exact same. That makes no sense to me. Why in the world make it like that? Oof, so this is the bad things. I made these patterns Lord knows how long ago. And now I'm actually cutting them out, putting them on the thing. So I don't know what past me was thinking when he drew them out, when he made them, because he made them probably over a month ago. So we're just going to see what we can accomplish here for right now, because it's not looking spectacular. It'll all come together, but I just don't know how we're going to get there. That is my only concern. Normally I cut this out with the scissors. I have no idea where my scissors is though, so we're stuck doing everything like this. Not terrible, not terrible. We're still in good money so far. Okay. Good, good. It should be fine. Should be fine. I just don't like doing it with a knife because it takes so much longer, but the curve should look slightly more natural than when doing it with a scissor. Except right there when we mess up. Bam, there's our left side. It's gonna go right there. And just being put onto it now. It'll be a lot easier to form it to the shoe once I heat everything up and just, you can kind of squish it all together, mush it, move it around however we want to have it, which is cool. So Left side, right side. I do not like how that looks. I don't know, it's very strange, very, very strange trying to make this shoe, because, I mean, I've done this before. It's been a long time since I have done necessarily something like this exactly before, but that's okay, that's okay. That's the right side. The good part about this is that there's a lot of room to screw up. And we're probably gonna need it. Probably gonna need it. Alright, let's see. Any comments so far? 2 comments. Oh, it's so weird. Okay, so we are getting comments. The comments are starting coming in from the side. Good to see that you guys are doing. Jason, hopefully, if you still stuck with it. I don't know why the comments aren't coming in from the side. That is so weird. Normally the comments come in from the side. Alright. Well, hopefully if you're still sort of with us. I don't know why the comments aren't coming in from the side. It's very annoying. Let's see. Did someone probably send me a message there in the comments? We're coming in and I just wasn't getting them? No? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, this is what we're doing. We're just making kind of like an armored shoe type of deal. I need to turn it into a night shoe, and it'll look pretty solid. Should look all right. So we're gonna do it like this, so we have a side to take everything off of, and then the front is gonna kind of bring it all together. It's gonna look funky. It's gonna look a little different. So I'm really just making a base layer right now, and then I'm gonna use these two to pattern the other side, because I don't like messing with like the tinfoily tape and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Comments will probably be pretty far behind, I imagine. If for some reason they weren't popping up on the side, I can scroll down here and make them pop up. I don't know why. Oh, for some reason it's gonna let me totally like move it around for some reason, but it's not gonna let me pop up. All right, whatever. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? But yeah, we're just sort of making the shoe, and we're gonna see how it goes. Because it's still the Doctor Doom armor. It still needs to get done, and it still blows my mind. I have not finished it yet. There are cosplayers that like get stuff like this done in like a month. That is just not me. I am not a deadline, strict, anything kind of person. I very much work at my own pace, so it sort of gets done when it gets done. Although I've almost had the idea of making this for a year now, and have no excuses as to why it shouldn't be done by now, especially considering the last year, right? So, just trying to get my butt in gear. I'm going to try, this is where I lie to you and say I'm going to try to do these videos weekly, so I can get this finished. I'll promise I'll try to work on it during the week sometime. Ooh, it looks just so rough. So this part is basically going to go... Man, wow. I'll be able to alter the foam once I get in there. But it's basically going to go right here on this side. Basically, we want it like this. That's the good part about this foam is that it will stretch, and I'll be able to alter it and mess with it and do whatever I need to. When I'm when I'm putting it on, because right now this just flat piece won't do anything. Once I heat it up, get the stuff on it, I'll be able to stretch it, move it around. Do need to do that. Also need to make sure it's the right side. It's definitely the left side. I had it on the wrong side, so that helps. So this is the left side. Actually, I better double check and make sure it's the left side before I go crazy. Yeah, okay. It's the right side. It's the right side. That's why we check. That's why we check. Very simple. Very simple. I once again apologize if anybody's commenting. If I can't see them, I'm going to try to scroll down and look at the comments every once in a while. Okay. This would be the left side. Okay. Leave that. Leave that. Does it really need to cover it like that? I don't think so. Yeah, we'll leave that. I don't think anyone will notice that. Should be fairly unnoticeable. And if they do, why are they like licking Dr. Doom's boots to notice that small whatever? So that's all these pieces. Now I want to trace them out again, so that way I have copies. Left side should go like this, right side should go like this, which means the R should be on this side. Left side, right side, left side. Yep, that looks good to me. There it is. Okay. Old Sharpies, man. Kind of gotta go over it a few times. You can't just sort of trace it all out. You gotta be careful with this pattern to not stretch the foam too much. You can already tell I sort of did a little bit. But I'll do my best not to terribly stretch the foam. That is the left side. Still says we only have 2 comments, which might be true. I'm just going to open up a new Facebook tab just to double check, make sure that nothing is terribly wrong with the stream. Okay, yeah, it looks good. Sweet. Alright, sweet. Cool. This piece will have to wait till later. So we already copied this piece once. We can copy the right side, and then we add a foam on this sheet. Let's see. That's going to be the right side. Right side and left side were copied. This side was not copied. I'm out of red, so we'll go with white. So now we'll copy these two pieces really quick. I'm not going to cut them out, I'm just going to copy them. I'm going to see how they work getting onto the shoe first before I totally waste all this foam. Wasting the foam, I guess, really isn't too big of a deal. It's more wasting my time cutting it out because there's no reason for me to cut it out if I don't end up using it like that. And if I do end up using it, I'll just cut these out. They will obviously won't be totally the same as the originals, but I'll still be able to use them for good enough on the other shoe. Okay. It's the right side of this one. The left side, once again, we'll line that up so it doesn't have to cross that part off or whatever. There's the left side. Cool, cool, cool. Just like that. Solid, solid, solid. So, now we have these. Put them there. Those ones there. This here. Okay. Not in love with this. Not the biggest fan. Here's the cool thing though. Roughly there's a middle. You can probably barely see it, but there's a little line right there. Same thing on the front. There's sort of a little bit of a line, just a bit. So that does help me line everything up. However, I'm not super sure how well the contact cement is going to take it. So we shall see. We shall see. Cool, cool, cool. This. Is that plugged in? Still incredibly wildly uneven. Oh boy. Alright. Feels good, feels loose. Might as well do the other side while we're at it. It should be softened up, should be easier to work when I do this, should be easy to work with when I do this. But we're gonna see if it'll actually be easy to work with. It might just be a humongous pain in the butt, you know?
All right, we're going to see how that goes. Doing one side at a time. It's going to curl up. That's just the way it wants to do it when it's covered in the cement. It'll flatten out. It'll be fine. So yeah, we should be all right. We should be good. Right now, we're just waiting for this to dry up, so that way we can put it on the shoe here. So there's not much we can really do. We just sort of have to wait. Some people do 2 coats. I'm not going to. It's not necessary, I think. So, we're just not going to do 2 coats. Instead, I'm going to play a little bit of Pokemon Go. I know, it's very interesting, but I sort of have to wait for it to dry, you know? It gets so itchy in that mask, man. Super duper itchy, super duper itchy. So we'll see. This stuff is actually drying up pretty well. So we actually can't really mess around that much, as much as I thought. It's almost there, it's almost there. Some areas, not quite. I should not do that on this mouse pad. This is a super nice mouse pad. We're fine, it's good, it's fine, we're good, it's fine. I always prefer building off of actual shoes, even if they are like cheap Walmart shoes, because making just like the way it should look in foam is gonna kill your feet walking around all day. And to be fair, you only have to wear it 4 or 5 times. I never wear a costume too many more times than that. Depending on what it is, I guess. But I mean, still, right? Like, you might as well just use real shoes. They're so cheap. It's better, and it's going to be better in the long run, so that way you don't just have just terrible foot pain by the end of like a convention day, you know? So That's what I'm going with. That's what we're gonna. That's our plan here. So yeah, it is almost dry. We're getting there. We're really getting there. What we can do to just speed it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's good stuff right there. Okay, that's what I was worried about. That's what I was worried about. So, is that going to cause me a problem? I think it is. I think it is. Yeah.
We are not going to be able to use contact cement on this material, and the reason being is because it does not take. It is this kind of, it's not leather. The leather will actually take contact cement. It's this fakey stuff that just kind of rejects it. Maybe try doing 2 layers, I suppose, but this is not great. I can just sort of smudge it all away with my finger, and I'm not a fan of that at all. I only see this as in the future it will just peel. It'll want to totally peel off. It'll connect to itself, and that's what contact cement does. So it'll connect to itself. So this piece will then connect to all that contact cement, but because that contact cement isn't really connected to what I painted it on, it's gonna just peel off. The entire armor is gonna come off, and that is no good. So I think maybe we totally, and I'll have to see about this. I think we keep the bottom of the shoe. But then we build everything else. Like we cut off the top, all of this part we cut off. Then the shoe can't tighten. I don't necessarily know. I know the length of the foot of the client, but I don't know. Man, that sucks. Okay. This is sort of a back to the drawing board thing. We can also just use a different adhesive. That's another thing we can do. So because this does not want to stick to this kind of faux leather, and I know I've come across this problem in the past. So I think a little research, a little R&D has to be done, because you can't. This is awful. This is terrible. It won't last very long. So if this was like a con crunch, I just want to get the costume done, and the con is in a month or whatever, and it's like, these are the shoes I have. I don't have time to redraw, to do whatever. I would just stick it to these shoes, 100%. But that's not what this is for. This is for someone else who's not me, who wants to have this armor for when, and they want it to last a long time. They want to wear it to events and conventions and whatever. So it can't fall apart. And yeah. A very aptly named title I gave this episode without knowing how it was going to go But that's just sort of been this entire Doctor Doom armor build since the beginning. I have just hit, I mean, roadblock and roadblock and roadblock, to say the least. And it sucks, man. It really sucks. I may honestly do the thing I was saying, where it's I totally construct shoes. I just take this and I just make the shoes completely out of foam. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to do a little bit of research. This is going to be a short episode because I have nothing else planned, and this is where it's going to stop. We can take a look at some of the other armor pieces here really quickly, because some of it's done, some of it is painted, some of it isn't. And it's about it was quite the process getting to where we are today with it. The armor is very simplistic. It's very simple. It's just I'm making something that's to scale with a different person. So it's difficult for me. It's a learning process for me. So it's all very rudimentary. Like, this is the shoulders, right? Very, very simple shoulder armor here. And it all had to be adjustable, which was another thing I had to do that I just didn't know how, and I had to think about and take that into account. And then the straps had to be a certain color. Armor had to be silver, straps need to be bronze or brown, so it looked like fake leather. So this is like very, very simple upper arm armor, incredibly simple. It took me a day to put together, and then I wanted to make sure the straps made sense, right? So very simple, gets the job done. It's going to look good when it's painted, when you put little rivets on it, or googly eyes really on it. So yeah, you know, the rest of the armor is kind of looking smushed because of the way it is, but like very, you know, relatively simple arm brace armor with some layers here to give it a little bit of depth, and sort of a strap to tighten it. I imagine he'll wear clothes, and it'll be a little not as loose fitting on the gentleman that wears it. And then, like, for the elbows, again, very simple. It has to have a strap that will then connects to here. I don't know if you saw that inside the bicep armor, there's this little buckle here that will then connect where the elbow piece goes, you know, for the elbow, for like the back of the arm. So it's all these little pieces that I've never made an armor that was supposed to fit the human form like this before, and so that and months of procrastination and just not getting it done have led us me to where we are today with finding a hard time to want to work on it, and that's goodness gracious. It's not even talking about the mask. Good lord, I could rant for hours, days, and years about this mask and how poorly it looks right now. It looks bad, and just how I have zero clue to fix it, how I should have made it correct in the first place, and how the pattern, the gentleman that made the pattern, is just loop-de-doo. Like, the pattern is one of the most difficult patterns I've ever had to try to. It was a guessing game. It was a complete guessing game. It had no instructions. It was like, boop, this is the pattern. That's it. It had no registration marks, had no instructions, and it was goofy. I had to figure out, like, and it was just sized wrong also. The part that covers the chin, this is much smaller, and then this chin pattern itself has this sized hole for a piece that's like this size, and I'm like, what is going inside that brain of yours, man? Why didn't you make the pattern like this? The nose, as you can see, there's this little mark here. I had to add to it. For some reason, the nose was only this big, but the eyes were still up here, and the brow, and it still looks wonky, right? Because he made the pattern horribly. I mean, at some point I was like, man, I know I'm not making this the best I could. I look at it and I see all the little flaws that I didn't line up everything correctly. But I didn't make the pattern. If the pattern had been made properly, I could have built it pretty darn well, honestly. And then the instructions, there were no instructions with the pattern. The instructions are all in this like dude's video, and he doesn't do the best job of explaining it. Now, there are some parts and elements of this mask that I like, that I enjoy, but the gentleman that made the pattern, it's bad. It doesn't look as wonky when it's on a human face, but obviously it has to connect to the entire back part. Don't even get me started on the entire back part. It is ridiculous how this person thought beginners should make this mask, because I am by no means a beginner. I'm okay. I'm not an expert or anything. I'm all right at this, but this is terrible. This was bad. He definitely markets it. Oh yeah, hey Justin, glad you were able to come in when I'm ranting about how terrible his pattern is. But yeah, well, to be fair, there hasn't been consistent episodes in forever. I don't blame you. It's been what I've been working on, and I want to try to not have to worry about doing these once a week, and maybe do these just whenever I can. If it's like, oh, I've already done one this week, I'll just do another one. Who cares? But yeah, I do want to get more of these in. I want to get them done. It's really hard to want to make things, and that sounds so lame because I love making things. It's a passion of mine. I love doing it. But when the entire armor build has just been like, man, roadblock, setback. How do I build this? I'm not an engineer. I'm not a designer. I like to make things, but that doesn't mean I'm like good at it, you know? So like when it comes to a really heavy engineering, designing standpoint, I have to scratch my head. It takes me like a month and a half to like figure out how to do this stuff. So yeah. So I hate this mask. I kind of hate the person who made it. I very much dislike this. It looks very bad. But I can't find the pattern anywhere else on the internet, which means I'm keeping this around, because this is a mistake. We have to learn from this. So I have all of the rest of the pattern. It's all right there. We're going to cut it out. We're going to try it again. But the mask is going to be, I'm giving myself a break. It took me a month to build this thing, this abomination you see before you. So that is done. Once the rest of the armor is done, then we worry about the mask. I'll send the guy everything else, and we'll do it. Because technically the rest of the armor is done. I just need to make the shoes and the gloves. That's it, actually. So once those are done, and honestly, I'm gonna abandon the shoes and just make the gloves. I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna save the two hardest parts for last, and I'm gonna send them to this guy. And I honestly might be like, I'm gonna see if I can have someone 3D print you a mask, because this sucks. So yeah, these shoes have been ironically difficult to deal with, which is very funny to me. But that is the way it is. It's the way it be sometimes. So that rant over. We're going to try to do more of these. We're going to see what we can do. But hope everybody has a good night. Hope everybody has a fun, productive week. If it does end up snowing tomorrow, I'll probably be working on this, but it'll be during the day, since I can't go to work if it snows. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But I want to start doing this more consistently. It's just, life is so weird. You know what I mean? It's like everybody wants to hang out, everybody wants to do things, and it's like I feel bad not hanging out and doing things, but I also want to do like this stuff. So it's super, I don't know, it's super lame, it's super weird. But we're gonna get it done. Gotta make time for it. So yeah, we're gonna get this Doctor Doom stuff done. It's been almost a year since I started this Doctor Doom project, and it's gotta get done. I'm gonna look up what glue is good for fake leather and foam. There's got to be a video on it somewhere. I can't be the first cosplayer to be like, what if I put fake leather and foam together? Okay, good. So I'm glad we can relate a little bit, Justin. And see, that's what makes me want to like. That's what like pushes you to do it, right? Because you know it's gonna look good when you get it done. Because Sasha looks good, it's awesome. So like, you just have to it's every creative process ever, right? I'm not saying that to belittle you or I. I'm saying it's writer's block, you know, it's artist block, it's whatever. It's just you have to get over this hump to just make it. It's a process for every creative individual. So, but yeah, rant over. Oh, it's snowing. Ah, dude. So I think it's gonna move in because I'm in Vermilion right now. So I think it's moving east because it said we had a pretty good chance of snow. But good luck with that. I hope it's not too bad. I don't know how many inches we were supposed to get, so I honestly hope it's not too much. Because it was like 70 degrees today, so I don't know. It's crazy, but I'm gonna let everybody go. Rant over. Everybody have a good night. Hopefully, and I said this last time, hopefully we can do these more. And then fast forward, it's going to be June, and I'll do one maybe, right? But hopefully we can try to do these every other week, every week, and just pound them out, man. Just try to figure them out. But nights and like I said, stuff's busy, life's the way it is. But yeah, everybody have a good one. Whatever you're working on, whatever you're doing, take a break from it, take it easy, then get right back to it. But see you guys later.